Hey guys, with us now having full access to the Assassin's Creed collaboration, with the second anniversary not being too far away anymore, and with us getting information about 3.1 next week, I figured it's a good time to make a video about the state of the game, what the game desperately needs 100% moving forward, and some good ideas as well as to how to improve the game. To kick things off, we have to start on a negative note, because we gotta figure out and take a look, point out real quick, what is the biggest issue that this game has. And of course, there's dead weight here everywhere. The wilderness, completely useless garbage, dead weight, no one uses this, no benefit for anyone from the wilderness, complete trash. The 3 doors, completely dead gameplay mode, no one likes this, no one plays this, sees no development anymore, completely dead. Then the most important thing about this game overall is they run the grindable gameplay mode, a series of tasks, completely into the ground. This had potential, this was developed into the completely wrong direction. It's now an unplayable, worse than a bump simulator kind of mode that, I've talked about this in deep detail multiple times, so let's not turn this into a rant too much. Then we have the gameplay mode Reveries in the Rain as well, where everyone and their mom has cleared the 400 dive by now. So this is a dead gameplay mode. This is too easy, there's no development there to be seen at all. And we even know moving forward that we will get additional stages. They will be completely trivialized though, because with Dynamo and Blood Tide, everyone is gonna crush that mode anyways, and then we're gonna sit there and wait for months and months and months to gain additional stages. So why is all of that such a huge issue? That is because all of this left behind dead weight in this game leads to us having absolutely zero content whatsoever. How I play this game, I mean honestly, this is not even a video game. This is a maintaining your account simulator. We log in, we finish our daily tasks in 2 minutes on autoplay, and then we log out because we don't have anything to do anymore. That is the reality of the situation for every single veteran in this game. If you play this game for like what, 4 months, 5 months, that's the case for you. So see, this is not a video game, but a simulator to maintain your account. You can't play this game, there is nothing to play it. Simple as that. And even if we have content drop, like the Assassin's Creed collaboration main event part 2 just dropped, then what is this? This is piss easy and finished in like what, 1 hour, and that's it. Now you're gonna wait for days and weeks and whatnot to gain more content that you then also gonna finish in like 30 minutes to 1 hour. And let me point out again that this is absolutely piss easy, brain rot, autoplay garbage. Like even new, if you're brand new, even then this is the case for you, as you get here Cassandra for free and she obliterates all of these stages, all of these enemies in no time on autoplay. Like, you see what I mean? We don't play a video game. We play like something else. This is we don't even play, you know? This is autoplay. We just watch. We put it on autoplay and put the game aside and we play something else. This is not a video game anymore. That is the huge point here. And I wanna point something out that is very, very scary looking into the future, because the developers are aware of this. They know the wilderness is useless trash that no one cares about. That's why they don't develop it anymore. They know everyone hates the 3 doors. That's why they don't develop it anymore. They know a series of tasks was a fumble, they develop this into the wrong direction, everyone hates it, no one plays this. That's why they announced they will not develop this anymore. And there's more, also this artificial somnambulism, right? Let's take care of this also real quick. Like, what even is this? This resets like every 5 years. Honestly, I even forget that this is a thing sometimes. And then when it's reset, I'm like, oh yeah, okay. Yeah, let me put this on autoplay and put it aside and play something else, you know? Like, dead weight, again, I forgot to mention it when we talked about the actual dead weight. And the future looks very, very bad as well. Let me tell you why. Because, as I just said, the developers are aware of all of this trash that they pulled. They know their numbers. And they are aware that their veterans, their long-term players, leave the game. More and more veterans actually stop playing this game. Because, why? This is not a video game. There is nothing to play. You log in, 2 minutes autoplay, you log out, and then you go do something else. Why even do this in the first place, right? More people realize that and just quit, even forget about this game, because why log in? There's no incentive, no nothing here, okay? And the developers are aware of that as well. Their veteran numbers, they drop. And this is why we now, after 2 years, get our first collaboration. Why are they doing this in the first place? Because they want to gain new players. They use a different big IP to get new players into Reverse 1999. Because they know veterans they will keep quitting the game. So they need new players. And we will get more collaborations in the future. That is already confirmed. While we just hit our main event part 2, this will still be here for like 3 weeks, right? But we already got a survey asking us what collaboration we want next. And again, you are aware of why they do this, right? Again, veterans are leaving the game, they need new players. And this is like pretty certain the way they will keep this game alive. They will not care about us veteran players at all. There will be no content for us. The game will forever stay piss easy and all the content will be trivialized. In order for them to keep this game alive, they will do a collaboration with one big AP after another to keep an influx of new players coming into the game. And it's gonna be all about the new players, and everyone who plays this game long term will have absolutely zero content and be bored out of their minds. So this is the way where it really, like everything points towards that this will be the case. Okay, now how could this game be saved? What if, like, first of all, let's get out of the way what this game needs. If the game doesn't get this, like ASAP, right? It's not gonna look too good, I'm gonna be honest. That is a new grindable gameplay mode. The developers gotta come up with something, whatever this might be. But we need the players that actually want to play this game and that have no content whatsoever left. They need something, some incentive to play this game. And this issue can only be fixed by giving them a grindable gameplay mode. It's not my job to come up with something. They have to do is they don't rework this a series of Dusk or something. It's gotta be something brand new, something fresh, and that people can actually play the game whenever they want to, with like a random small reward at the end there or something. But yeah, we cannot maintain this constant content drought, logging in, doing dailies, logging out, playing this game just on the sidelines while doing something else, having this game here run on autoplay all the time. That is not gonna work for long anymore. It's already way too long where this shit is going on. This has to change as soon as possible. Time is running out. And of course, this cannot be everything, right? Just a grindable gameplay mode will not save this game. It's run into the ground way too hard by now. So other good ideas, right? This is not something that the game desperately needs per se. All that this game desperately needs is a grindable gameplay mode, that's it. But here are some more ideas. You see how these developers, for now, completely waste their workforce and their development time by busting out new 5-star characters like Loggerhead, like Nameday, like Buddy Fairchild, like Alexios, right? And not only that, they give us even quite high quality garments for these 5-star characters. We, not too far ago, we got a garment for the character The Fool that no one ever plays, no soul on the planet ever plays this character. Yet the developers are like, oh, there is a completely useless character that no one ever plays, no one ever looks at, and is completely forgettable. Let's develop a garment for this guy, because we don't give a fuck about actual content in this game. So let's develop this, you know? And this is unacceptable. Obviously, this is, right? I mean, that's not hard. I don't need to explain this, I think, why this is so bad. They keep doing this. In our 2nd anniversary, we will get a high quality garment for these guys here, for the Twins Sleep. Now, did you even know that this character exists in this game? I wouldn't blame you if you didn't. Yet, again, the developers are like, a completely useless character that will never be played by any soul on the planet, that will never be used in any content whatsoever, that people are completely forget about. Let's develop a garment, you know? It's not gonna work. We just got a garment for the character Apple, who falls into the exact same category. And they can kind of, not really, but kind of fix this problem by giving us a gameplay mode where 6-star characters are banned, and we are only allowed to use characters of the rarity 5 stars and below. This would open up an entire new world. It would lead to a whole new aspect of team building and rethinking, revisiting the left behind characters, and it would make a lot of dead weight in this game, which are most 5-star characters and below. It would breathe new life into these characters and make them an actual thing, and have this time that the developers use for their development count at least at something. Of course, even if that would be a case, even if we would get a game mode like this, it would make the Fool or the Twins Sleep viable, right? So the developers would still waste their time completely and utterly. But this is a good idea, right? A gameplay mode where we only can use 5-star characters and below, because again, it would open up a whole new world of characters, team building and strategy. Another thing, if you look at how they develop these Reveries in the Rain, the dive, right? We need to have 3 teams. You know, we can start actually with the artificial somnambulism. Here you need 2 teams. Then we go into the Reveries and dive. At some point you will need 3 teams. Now you will even need 4 teams in the 400 meter dive. Moving forward to the 2nd anniversary, we will need 5 teams, you know, and they cannot keep going this route. They cannot be, oh, yeah, you need 6 teams and 7 teams and 8 teams, and at some point you need 20 teams, right? That is not gonna work. It is already bad that they do this. They cannot keep moving forward. 3 teams, 4 teams, 5 teams, 6 teams. That is not gonna work. That is bad game design. So, what could you do to fix this? There's pretty much only one possibility. Yeah, I mean, first of all, you can buy yourself some time. let us have 5 teams, okay? Don't introduce content and dives where we need 6 and 7 and 8. Keep us at 5 teams now for a while. And then you can introduce stages where we need, instead of building 4-member teams, make us have 5 members in our team. We kind of already get teased by this sometimes. It was in the past where we use 5 characters in our team. We have now here our team, and they throw Cassandra into the mix as the 5th member, right? This is a way where you can stop forcing us to build team after team after team after team. Also, as I said, what is very, 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 very important, otherwise the game will die out. The veterans need content. A grindable gameplay mode, okay, would fix some issues, but we need a challenge. We need difficult content. We want to come up with unique strategies, and we want to use our good characters to actually have a challenge. They have content that is difficult, not a piss easy autoplay walk in a park, right? And so we are diving. Why don't we introduce a tower where we climb, right? Simple as that. Of course, you would have to make sure that this is very difficult content. This would be a new endgame content. And you have to make it different from Reveries in the Rain. It cannot be just the same thing. So you're gonna get a little bit creative, right? Maybe you make this having multiple teams unique to the dive. And then we build less teams, but 5-member teams, maybe even 6-member teams, you know? Come up with something to then climb. Then we need 1 team, we need 2 teams, maybe 3 teams, and then we stop there, but we have 5 characters per team. That would fix a lot of issues already that a lot of players have. When I look at accounts from kind of veterans, right? They are overloaded, they have a bloated roster, they have so many characters that just eat dust and will never be used again. And they especially have an overload of follow-up characters. Now they have less characters that actually collect dust, because they can use one of those follow-up characters that collects dust in this new tower that we climb with 5-member teams, you know? It's just an idea, right? Keep that in mind. But it is even easy for me to easily come up with multiple good ideas to introduce content. Yet the developers seem completely either unwilling or unable to realize the same and actually develop the game and not leave all the game modes that I counted out completely behind, right? Waste their workforce. I mean, what is going on? Additionally, like I can keep going for a little bit. They hit us with puzzles. There's like in pretty much every version, there's always like some type of puzzle that we have to solve. They keep doing this. So let me give you an idea for another puzzle. It is already kind of done in the tutorial, but yeah, we can expand on this and make this an actual gameplay mode. That you hit us with puzzles where you give us like not only pre-built teams, but like it is in chess, you put us, let me give you the example of how it is in chess first. You are put into a scenario where you have to find a way to put your enemy into checkmate in 3 turns, right? Just to name one example. And in Reverse1999, you can also create scenarios and puzzles like this. Give us pre-built teams, put us into specific situations to make us figure out how we can get our ass out of this particular situation, right? Or make it so that there's only like 1 or 2 ways to finish the opponents off in 2 turns and 3 turns, and then make us figure out what this way actually is, right? A good addition to the puzzle content that they already put out every version anyways. There's one more thing I would like to point my finger towards. How they handle the balancing overall in this game when it comes to characters is obviously absolutely fantastic. Now there's still a problem, because if you look at older characters, at characters that are outdated, then you will see the issue that comes to light when we talk about portraits. Portraits, they are completely left behind. There are tons and tons and tons of characters. Like, I can't even count them anymore. That's how many there are. They are completely left behind when it comes to their portraits. No one will ever pull for portraits for Tooth Fairy, for Mrs. Bubble, for Eternity, for Anna-Lee, for Sotheby, for Six, for Jessica, for Druvis, and the list goes on and on and on and on. Why not give us these outdated portraits that no one is ever gonna pull for anyways ever in their life again? Why not make these portraits be obtainable as a reward for some new content that you introduce? No one is gonna pull for those anyways, so why not make them obtainable by actually playing this game, right? Just a thought. Otherwise, they will be, again, completely left in the dust, will be completely left behind, and again, it is another layer of just dead weight. Fix the dead weight and make it matter. And here I just gave you an example of how to start doing that. And of course, you have to rework the wilderness. You have to make all of this wilderness crap matter, at least a tiny little bit somehow. It cannot stay like it is. It's impossible. And again, right, it's just one of the things that will eventually just make veterans stop playing the game. But yeah, grindable gameplay mode, more content, more difficulty, more challenges, right? Veterans need something other than a maintain your account simulator, because otherwise they're gonna drop the game. And if we continue doing collabs and continue only developing this game for new players, then long-term players will have to seriously consider dropping this game in the future, right? In the near future. The time is already running out. Oh yeah, one more thing before I forget that. Euphoria updates. That is something that they already fix. But I've talked about this in the past as well already. You cannot have just 2 Euphoria updates per version, because you also introduce 2 new characters. That way, if you keep it that way, you will never ever catch up. There will always be too many characters left behind in the dirt and be again dead weight. They gotta fix that, and they are on their way actually to fix at least this one issue here. They try to, it seems, at least, we will see when we get the information about 3.1. It seems they try to introduce 3 Euphorias at least each version. That is still too slow. That is just +1 when it comes to characters. We should get 4, like it is with our anniversary, right? We get 4 new Euphorias. That is what it should be every single version to catch up. You have 2 new characters introduced and then 4 new Euphoria updates. That would actually be the way to go. And you don't always have to bust out the craziest of Euphoria updates. Not every Euphoria update has to be always a new archetype or on top of the meta or something. No, they can also be mediocre, mid Euphoria updates, so that players they can make wrong decision and they can waste their resources in terms of what Euphorias they upgrade. It's a very, very good thing. Also, the Euphoria updates, it does not have to be always only 6 stars. Again, this is another very, very good thing to make 5-star characters and below like become more of a thing, or become a thing at all in this game, by giving them also Euphoria updates. Like keep in mind, it doesn't have to be always the craziest new meta thing that changes teams and blah. No, it doesn't have to be like this always. Just have to be an update to make the balance of this game overall better, especially when it comes to and you can also reduce the dead weight. Give characters that are in the dirt new light, make them shine. Again, emphasis on they don't have to become top tier meta game changing things. Like, it can just be mid, right? That is absolutely no problem, but we need to increase the size of Euphoria updates. It cannot be 2 for 2, and 3 for 2 is good, but not enough either. So there you go. I hope that was fun and informative. If you have any good ideas, but don't talk about PvP or guilds or something, right? That is not gonna work. PvP is gonna make this game unbalanced, because you cannot have a straight up PvP. That would turn this game into pay to win. That is detrimental, right? Guilds also are not a good thing. If I take a look at, the community is pretty heartwarming and pretty okay in the large scale, but there are so many toxic hate spreading degenerates as well. If you would force us now to come together and build a guild and have to work together towards a goal, that is just induce even more hate and toxicity. That is unfortunately not gonna work in the world that we live in today. So keep this game single player. And in PvP, it's not gonna work, because either it would turn the game into pay to win, as I said, or you could also make this PvP balanced by, for example, balancing the character in terms of not allowing portraits in this PvP mode, but that would lead to things getting more unbalanced, because some characters like Aleph, like Flutterpage, like Geoday, Shine, Noir and stuff, right? There are lots of characters like that shine at a certain portrait, and all of these characters would be nerfed. So this is also not a good thing. Forget about PvP and about community aspects like a guild or something. But if you have any other ideas that would be a good addition to this game, hit me up in the comment section down below with those ideas. Maybe I can make a part 2 of a video like this here. But until next time, take care of yourselves, have a great day, don't forget to join the Discord server, and we love this game.